Hey, what's up, guys? It is Griffin here, back with another video. God, today's video we're going to be looking in is actually going to be pretty crazy. So, I've never actually, done a video on them before. So, yeah, it's called My Story Animated. Yes, guys. Yes. I do not know which video we're looking at, but you'll know because the title of it. So yeah, it's on YouTube. God, they have weird stories. Some are just unbelievable, and then others are just, why do you gotta put this? Why do you gotta have that much detail? Like, like if their videos if their channel was demonetized, I honestly would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. So yeah, we're just gonna take a look into the video. Yeah.
Tonight, I'll be eating a calzone from Doughballs in Aurora. Rock on.
Tonight, I'll be eating lobster thermidor au gratin.
Really?
Yeah, and monkeys might fly out of my butt. Make it 2 calzones.
Hello there. My name is Amber, and I'm 19 years old. I want to talk about how my cat ended up causing me to get pregnant. I know that sounds really out there, but I promise you, it makes more sense if you keep listening. It's a bit of a crazy tale, but in the end, I think you'll understand why I made such a preposterous claim. I want to first tell the slightly crazy tale of my mother first, as unfortunate events seem to run in the family. For quite a long time, she was with a man named Jack. She absolutely was in love with Jack ever since high school, and they dated all through high school, and even a few years after that. My mother got a tip from one of her friends, however, that he was seeing someone else on the side. After another tip-off about another woman at his home, she walked in on him with another woman. Needless to say, she dumped him on the spot. Now the friend who tipped her off, his name was Mark. Mark and Jack had been close friends as well, so that was why he was able to find out about him seeing another woman. Mark was very kind to her, and consoled her through the sadness she felt at finding out Jack betrayed her. It wasn't too long before they were both dating instead, Jack long forgotten by both of them. They were together for over 2 years, and they never had any problems together. Neither of them cheated on the other, they never fought or had arguments, it all seemed perfect. It was so perfect, in fact, that they wound up getting married. It seemed like my mother had found the perfect guy after her fallout with her cheating boyfriend. Things were never that perfect, however, and neither of them could have predicted what a jaded lover could do when scorned. Jack had started to plan a way to destroy their relationship in petty jealousness. My mother was at home one day, cleaning and doing other stay-at-home wife duties, when she got a call on her phone. That call was from Jack, and she nearly hung up on him when she heard his voice, but he pleaded with her to listen to him. He told her that he wasn't calling to provoke her, but that his mother had wanted to see her. He made up some story about how his mother My mother still decided to head over to Jack's mother, too bad to but he couldn't be scruffy little guy with the sweetest eyes. He wouldn't sleep with my I looked closer at them. I couldn't believe this was happening. I was being accused of cheating with my cousin when, in reality, the cat he had gotten me had unintentionally sabotaged our contraceptives. I wanted to cry, the absurdity of the circumstances nearly driving me to hysteria. At least I could prove to my husband that it was indeed possible that our contraceptives had failed due to a furry problem. I wound up going to my mother and telling her about everything that had happened. I don't think she quite believed me at first, but I showed her one of the condoms I brought with me. Angus, for his explicitly stated, "I don't know how we're going to get past this." And this was a... When I jumped out, I started to suspect that my cat had jumped on our nightstand and chewed them. I couldn't believe this was happening. I was being accused of cheating with my cousin when, in reality, the cat he had gotten me had unintentionally sabotaged our contraceptives. I wanted to cry, the absurdity of the circumstances nearly driving me to hysteria. At least I could prove to my husband that it was indeed possible that our contraceptives had failed due to a furry problem. I wound up going to my mother and telling her about everything that had happened. I don't think she quite believed me at first, but I showed her one of the condoms I brought with me, and she seemed to understand this was a very real situation. She was sympathetic with my plight, having gone through a jaded lover destroying her own marriage. She advised that I forgive Lucas for his outburst and accusations, saying that she didn't want to see our marriage fall apart due to lies, like her own did. I understand that she only has the best in mind for me, but is that really what I should do? My own husband couldn't trust that I wouldn't hop in bed with my own cousin and make a baby when I had explicitly stated I didn't want kids right now. He hadn't even been home since the incident, but I was supposed to just forgive him for all of that? I do love him.
Okay, ready?
Hello there. My name is Darlene. I come from a pretty big family, where growing up meant standing outside the bathroom. The moment I was old enough and had saved enough money to I found myself lonely for the first time in my life, and I realized I missed the company of someone with me. I was alone in my own home. I was young, and frankly, I was a bit afraid. I figured the best way to counteract this problem without having to find a roommate was to consider adopting a pet. I knew dogs were great for protecting your home and showing unconditional love, so I decided to adopt a dog. I wound up finding a wonderful border collie at a local shelter, and I knew I just had to have him. Now, my dog is by no means destructive or aggressive, but it's obvious that he had never had any training in his life. He liked to chew my things instead of his toys, he marked the walls of my house by peeing on them, and he just flat out didn't listen to me. I was beyond frustrated until my friend Emily found a solution for me. She told me she had seen an advertisement for a dog trainer the other day and promised to give him a call. The next day, she returned to my home with this tall, sleek man who she introduced as my new dog trainer. The man shook my hand and told me his name was Jacob, and that he was a self-proclaimed dog whisperer. He was pretty cute and quite charismatic, but I was skeptical that anyone could rein in this enthusiastic collie. Turns out, Jacob was borderline magical and proved to be quite the competent trainer. My dog stood no chance disobeying him, and he eventually started to bend to his will. Jacob taught my dog so many things: how to sit, how to lie down and heel, shake hands, the whole trick package. Not only that, but he even conditioned my dog to do his business in specific corners in my yard. That made cleanup so much easier, and I no longer stepped in unseen dog crap with my shoes, which was a definite bonus.
Hi, it's Natalie. For me, the choice is clear. Live clean, baby. Naturally.
Emily invited me to be pretty envious of her. I felt super awkward after that, and my anxiety skyrocketed the longer I stood in the door. She turned her head. Strange that she also turned her head the longer it, and then leave him to come to me. Is it shameful? I really cut the. Is it shameful? Maybe a little, but I was getting desperate at that point. Try and catch him. I remember he was teaching my kiss for him. I was patient of the two. He was seeing the passion in his expression. He was reading the situation, and I wound up just sitting with my dog and spilling my woes to him the rest of the night. I was surprised he showed up against his expression. He ended up getting into the kiss for him. I was like the dog now, seeing the passion when Jacob was training my dog. She shouted at me that they were in a relationship and I shouldn't be messing with him. I started crying and told her I had no idea, my heart crumbling to bear. He seemed so close in my room to start changing, to exactly explain it. I asked him to meet me at a local cafe so I could have just entered my nude and looking like a deer show his trainer how good he had gotten at his little tricks. So I was in my room to something a bit nicer. While I was undressing though, my dog decided to show his trainer how good he had gotten at his little tricks. So when I closed my door and started changing, my dog opened up the door for him. I was just standing there, half nude and looking like a deer in headlights. I've just entered my room without a word. What happened next, I'm sure you can guess, but I can't exactly explain it in detail. 3 weeks later, I told him I was pregnant though. He got really pale and shaky. He told me he wasn't ready, that he couldn't support a child emotionally or financially. I just sat there in shock as he hurried out of the cafe, in disbelief that he just ditched me the moment he knew I was pregnant. I just stared into my empty coffee cup, unsure of what I was going to do now.
The baby was red in the face. The baby was red.